My name is Emily. I'm 31, and I've been living with my boyfriend Matt, 28, for the past 8 months. We've been together for 2 years, and when he moved in, it felt right. We talked about boundaries, respect, shared responsibilities, adult stuff. Matt had been living with roommates before, party guys who treated their place like a 24/7 nightclub. He said he was ready for something more mature. The first few months were great. Quiet nights in, cooking together, building something real. Then, about 2 months ago, his old roommate Tyler started going through a breakup. Suddenly, Matt was needed for emergency guys' nights. Fine, we all need friends during tough times. But emergency nights became regular nights. Twice a week became 4 times a week. Coming home at midnight became 2 a.m., then 4 a.m., then not coming home at all sometimes. Last weekend was the breaking point. Friday night, he left around 9 p.m. Matt: Tyler needs me tonight. Don't wait up. Me: when will you be back? Matt: not sure. Late, probably. I didn't hear from him all night. No texts, no calls, straight to voicemail. Finally dragged myself to bed around 3 a.m., worried sick. I woke up at 6:30 to the sound of someone fumbling at the door. He stumbled in, shoes in hand, hair messy. Me: where were you? I was worried. Matt laughing: God, you sound like my mom. Me: I texted you 5 times, called twice, your phone died. Matt: chill. I saw his phone light up on the counter. Definitely not dead. Me: look, I'm not trying to control you, but living together means basic respect. A text saying you're safe. Some idea when you'll be home. That's when he rolled his eyes. So hard, I was surprised they didn't fall out. Matt: you're not my mom. I don't need a curfew. I'm a grown man. Me: I know. He seemed surprised I didn't argue more. He kissed my cheek, mumbled something about needing sleep, and passed out until 2 p.m. I spent Saturday thinking he was right about one thing. I'm not his mom. I'm his landlord. See this apartment? It's mine. Bought it 3 years ago when the market dipped. His name's not on the lease, the mortgage, nothing. He sends me $800 a month for his half, which honestly doesn't even cover a third of my actual costs, but I wanted to be fair. Saturday night, he went out again. Didn't even tell me this time. Just got dressed up and left while I was in the shower. Found a note with Tyler. Tyler: don't be weird about it. That's when I made my decision. Sunday morning, while he was still passed out, I went to the hardware store, bought a deadbolt, the kind that only locks from the inside, and installed it myself. YouTube University for the win. Also got one of those chain locks for extra security. Sunday night, he left again around 8 p.m. Shirt, fitted jeans, the works. Matt: I'm going out with the guys. Me: have fun. As soon as his Uber pulled away, I executed the plan. Deadbolted the door from inside, added the chain lock for good measure, typed up a note and taped it to the outside of the door, grabbed my overnight bag already packed, went out the back entrance, and drove to my buddy Connor's place. The note said: Matt, you're absolutely right. I'm not your mom, and you don't need a curfew. However, I am your landlord, and I do need a tenant who respects reasonable boundaries. Your belongings will be available for pickup Monday between 2 to 4 p.m. Text me to confirm the time. The person who's not your mom. I watched from Connor's as the knocking started around 4:30 a.m., based on my Ring camera footage. He tried his key, realized the deadbolt was engaged, saw the note. The progression was almost poetic. Confusion, checking he had the right door, reading the note multiple times, angry knocking, angry texts, panicked calls, really angry texts, crying on my doorstep, calling friends. By 6 a.m., he was apparently sitting against my door, alternating between sobbing and rage texting. Holy hell, the entitlement came out in full force. After Matt spent 2 hours on my doorstep, yeah, I watched it all on my Ring camera, he finally called an Uber back to Tyler's. That's when the real campaign started. First, the text barrage. I'll summarize because there were literally 127 messages. This is illegal. You can't just kick me out. I live here. Open the door right now. I'm calling the police. You're abusive. This is because I wouldn't hang out last week, isn't it? I'll sue you. My mom's a lawyer. She's an accountant. You can't lock me out of my home. Then came the social media assault. He posted on everything. When your abusive girlfriend illegally evicts you because you have friends, domestic abuse, need help, homeless. He even tagged me. Within an hour, his entire friend group was all over it. Tyler, Brian, Jake, the whole crew. Comments like, Toxic control, call the cops, sue her for everything. But here's where he messed up. My ex from college, Logan, is a property lawyer now. Still friendly, grabs coffee sometimes. She saw the post and DM'd me. Logan: Emily, I saw Matt's post. Need legal advice? Me: Is what I did illegal? Is his name on the lease? Logan: No, he just lives there. Pays you some money monthly? Me: Yes, via Venmo. No lease. Month-to-month tenant at best, guest at worst. Most places require proper notice for eviction. Logan: Did you change the locks? Me: Nope. Just deadbolted from the inside and left through the back exit. His key still works. LOL. That's not eviction. It's just not letting him in at 4 a.m. Technically gray area, but hard to prove residency without paperwork. Logan: Want me to respond to his post? Me: Nah, I'm good. Monday at 1:45 p.m., he showed up for the pickup window, but not alone. He brought Tyler, Jake, and some guy I'd never seen before, probably meant to intimidate me, plus his mom, Karen. Yeah, really, on FaceTime. I met them outside with his stuff already in boxes by the door. Didn't let anyone in. Me: Matt, this is ridiculous. Let me in my apartment. Matt: It's not your apartment, never was. Karen: Young lady, this is highly inappropriate. You can't just throw my son out. Me: I'm not throwing him out. I'm choosing not to renew our informal arrangement. The mystery guy stepped forward. Bro, just let him get his stuff and we can talk like adults. His stuff was right there, all packed. Matt: You went through my things? Me: I packed what was yours. Left anything questionable for you to sort. Matt: This is probably illegal. Should we call the cops? Me: Please do. I'll show them the lease with only my name, the mortgage only in my name, and explain that he has no documentation proving residency. They backed down quickly, but then Matt played what he thought was his ace. Matt: I've been paying rent. I have proof. Me: You've been contributing to household expenses as my boyfriend. Never signed anything. Those Venmo notes saying for food or for utilities don't exactly scream tenant rights. This was true. He'd always been weird about putting rent in the notes. Said it felt too formal. Always wrote random stuff like for groceries or for Netflix. Worked in my favor. The mystery guy started loading boxes while Matt spiraled. Matt: Where am I supposed to go? Me: Not my problem. I'm doing this because you said you don't need to respect basic boundaries. You were right. You don't. Wednesday. After Monday's pickup, I thought it was over. I changed my door code. Smart lock for the win. Figured he'd crash with Tyler and move on. Nope. Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. I'm getting ready for work when I hear commotion outside. Look out the window. A cop car. Matt's there with 2 officers, gesturing wildly. I went down already knowing what this was about. Officer 1. This young man says he's been illegally evicted from this residence. Me: I see. Officer 1. Do you own this apartment? Me: Yes. Here's the deed on my phone. He's never been on any lease or legal document. Officer 1. Ma'am, do you have any proof of residency? Matt: Lease mail with this address. I changed my address here last month. Even the cops looked skeptical. He'd been living there 8 months, but only changed the address last month. Me: He was a guest who stayed over frequently. We broke up. I asked him to leave. Officer 2. Do you have documentation of a landlord-tenant relationship? Matt showed the Venmo payments. The officer zoomed in. These say pizza money and wine money, not rent. Staying somewhere doesn't automatically give you tenant rights. This is a civil matter at best. They left. Matt stomped off screaming about lawyers. Tuesday afternoon, it went nuclear. The building management called. Someone reported suspicious activity in my unit. Multiple people coming and going at all hours. Suspected I was running an Airbnb illegally. Me: Sure, here's my Ring footage from the last month. Just me and my ex-boyfriend. Also, his social media showing he's trying to get back at me. The building manager reviewed everything, saw it was nonsense, and gave Matt a heads up. Just so he knew, he also tried convincing the front desk he still lived here. We had to ban him from the property. Tuesday night, he created a TikTok about being homeless because his ex is a controlling narcissist. Went mini viral. 50K views overnight. The comments weren't what he expected. Girl, why didn't you have your name on anything after 8 months? No lease, no mail. Sounds like you were a guest who overstayed. Maybe don't come home at 5 a.m. if you want housing security. Team landlord on this one. By Wednesday morning, he had deleted it. Wednesday afternoon, I got a text from an unknown number. This is Thomas Garrett, attorney at law. I represent Mr. Matt Walsh in the matter of his illegal eviction. Please contact me immediately to discuss resolution. I forwarded it to Logan, my property lawyer friend. She called me laughing. Logan. Emily. I know Tom Garrett. He's a personal injury lawyer who advertises on bus stops. Never handled a housing case in his life. Me. Should I respond? Logan. I'll handle it. Pro bono. This will be fun. I sent a professional, concise response outlining that. No landlord-tenant relationship existed. No lease, no documentation, no formal agreement. Matt was a guest at best, month-to-month tenant at worst. The apartment is my separate property. Any further harassment would result in a restraining order. Within 2 hours, the unknown number texted back. Upon review, we will not be pursuing this matter. Matt's mom, Karen, called me directly afterward. Completely different tone. Karen. Emily, I just found out the whole story. Matt told us you two had a lease together. Me. You didn't. I see that now. He also failed to mention the coming home at dawn issue. Karen. I'm sorry. He's staying with me now, and we're going to have some serious conversations about responsibility. Finally, someone in that family was reasonable. Friday. Just when I thought it was dying down, Matt pulled the ultimate entitled move. Thursday was quiet. Too quiet. Friday morning, I woke up to 47 missed calls. Not from Matt, from my credit card company. Representative, ma'am, we're calling about unusual activity on your account. Did you authorize a $3,200 purchase at luxandbags.com? My blood ran cold. Checked my credit card app. 5 luxury purchases in the last 12 hours. Designer bags, shoes, jewelry, almost $8,000 total. That's when it hit me. Matt had saved my credit card info on his laptop for when he'd order food for us. He never removed it. I immediately called the fraud department, had everything frozen and disputed, and texted him. Me. Using my credit card is fraud. Return everything, or I'm filing a police report. Matt. I don't know what you're talking about. Me. The orders went to Tyler's address where you're staying. Prove it was me. Filed the police report, provided screenshots showing him basically admitting it. But here's the beautiful part. Tyler's apartment complex has package lockers with cameras. My credit card company subpoenaed the footage as part of their investigation. Friday afternoon, the detective called. Detective. Ma'am, we have footage of Matt Walsh collecting multiple packages from the locker. We also have him on camera opening them in the lobby and taking photos with the merchandise. He'd been flexing his fraud purchases on Instagram. Private account, but one of Tyler's roommates sent me screenshots. Matt posing with gifts from a new friend who appreciated him. Detective, this is felony fraud, over $5,000. We'll be arresting Mr. Walsh today. 2 hours later, Matt called from the police station. Me, Matt, I need you to drop the charges. I need you to respect boundaries. Guess we're both disappointed. Matt, this is insane. Over some stupid purchases? I was going to pay you back. Me, when? After you got a lease? Oh, wait, this will ruin your life. You'll have a record. You seriously think I'm going to let you commit credit card fraud and get away with it? His mom called next, begging. Then Tyler. Then other random numbers, presumably his friends, all blocked. The funniest part? Remember that viral TikTok? Someone found it and made a response video with his mugshot. POV. You commit fraud because your ex asked you to text when you'd be home. 2.3 million views. 2 weeks later. The conclusion to this saga is perfect. Matt was charged with felony fraud. His parents hired a lawyer who got it pleaded down to a misdemeanor with restitution and probation. He had to pay back the $8,000. His parents fronted it plus court fees. But the real fallout came from unexpected places. Remember how he was staying with Tyler? Tyler's landlord saw the arrest report. Small community, word travels. Tyler's lease had a clause about no additional occupants for more than 7 consecutive days without approval, and criminal activity could be grounds for eviction. Tyler kicked Matt out to save his own apartment. Matt tried staying with Brian next. Brian's roommate said, "Absolutely not. Who wants to live with someone who commits credit card fraud?" Upset, Jake left with his girlfriend, who said, "Hell no." Matt ended up back with his parents in their suburb, 45 minutes away. Matt had been working at a trendy marketing firm downtown. His boss found out about the arrest. Suddenly, he was no longer fit for client-facing roles. He moved to data entry, which he quit after 3 days. Last week, I ran into Marcus, a guy from our friend group who had always had a thing for Matt. He stopped me. "Marcus, Emily, I'm sorry about everything that went down." "Thanks, man. It is what it is." I had actually asked him out last month, and he said he wasn't ready because he was focusing on independence. So while Matt and I had been living together, technically we were still together. He had been crashing at my place temporarily because of lease issues with his old place. The lies, layers of lies. Current status: Matt is living with his parents at 28, which he had used to mock other people for. Lost his friend group when they realized he'd been lying to everyone. Has a criminal record that shows up on background checks. Can't get approved for apartments, working retail at a mall near his parents' house. Still posts about toxic exes, but only has about 12 followers. Meanwhile, I repainted the apartment. It's never looked better. Started dating a sweet woman from my rock climbing gym who actually texts when she'll be late. Got a promotion at work. Turns out being well rested improves performance. Learned to install deadbolts and security cameras like a pro. Have a great story for parties. Connor asked me recently if I felt bad about how everything went down. Me. Matt said I wasn't his mom and didn't need a curfew. He was right. I'm not his mom. I don't have to house someone who doesn't respect basic boundaries. The note I left? Simple. He's right about me not being his mom. I'm his landlord, and his stuff will be available for pickup. Sometimes the simplest messages hit the hardest. Through the grapevine, I heard he tells people I manipulated the system to make him homeless. Not that I simply refused to allow someone who ignored boundaries to continue living in my apartment. He mocked reasonable requests, committed credit card fraud, lied to everyone about our relationship status, and expected to live rent-free with zero responsibilities. Accountability is kryptonite to people like Matt. His Instagram bio used to say, "independent man." Now it says, "everything happens for a reason." Yeah, the reason is consequences. Thanks for reading this whole saga. Remember, you're not required to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. And if someone shows you they don't respect you or your home, believe them the first time. Always use proper lease agreements and lots of cameras.